Welcome, hello everyone, to the Foundation for the Study of Cycles. My name is Lars von Thienen. I'm a member of the board, and once a week, every Monday, same time, same place, Monday, 6 o'clock Central European time, we meet here for 20 to 40 minutes talking about market cycles. So as you're aware, we talked a lot about last week about how to introduce or import intraday data sets. So this was more related to the analyst. So today I will pay more attention to the general market cycles overview so that everyone can participate today and gets the value of it. So that's the key topic for today. So just reviewing some main market cycles as the analyzer would show them to us. So we just review the current main markets, and you can see a little bit how I use or what's the standard procedure of using the tools. However, as I saw that from last time that some of you have issues with accessing the correct place where to get the intraday scripts you need to prepare for that, I will get back to this in the end of this session in the Q&A section for today. So I will address the topic at the end of the session, and as always, we will have the time to go through your general questions and answers. So thanks for taking the time live with me today again. If you want, as always, drop some notes in the live chat, and we will start now with some major main market cycles reviews. Okay, so let's get into our application. And we will browse through some main markets. So I've not done any special preparation on specific markets. I just want to recall one analysis we did. I think it was in May, where in this channel here, we also reviewed the commodities gold cycles. And I want to get back to this gold cycle and update this to today's situation, because there's also some learning into these daily cycles. All right, so let's get into the commodity section and pull up the chart for gold here in this case. So here we have the current price behavior running in the gold commodities here. With the latest update, and I think it was here mid-May where we had this up-running cycle, and we can get back to this situation here. So I will set the end of the analysis here by mid-May and update the cycle analysis. You will find the exact same situation back in our Monday live show here. At this point of time, this is what the dominant cycles, or the main dominant cycle, showed us mid-May, and I think I talked about that we still might see some upwards move here into July, at least what the cycles project here. And we saw that, I mean, it looks like the top was still in. By the way, the other tops and lows here helped us predicting the key cycles here just before. But I want to come to this point here where at least the cycle has gone off, or our projection was not as clean or as perfect as we would like it. By the way, this is normal behavior, what you will observe in markets. It's never perfect. But one learning we can take here is that always a cross correlation between, in this case, I would use silver. I will show you this in a second. And also the harmonic relations of cycles can give us better clues about the timing than just using the one dominant cycle here, which is the standard procedure: go to the cycle spectrum, pick the one with the highest peak in the spectrum chart. This is the standard way how we do this for if you're new to cycle analysis. That's the reason why I picked the one with the length of 171 days here in this case, and just plotted this on the chart. So this is the basic starting point for every cycle analysis. The light blue is the out of sample, the dark blue is the in sample, just to explain the basics, what we're seeing here on the screen. So, and you always know that we have different other cycles detected here in this list. So Another interesting point here is always to check out for the harmonic relations of other cycles here. As we have picked the one with the length of 171 days, which is the key dominant cycle here based on the spectrum, we should always look out for cycles which have in relation to that cycle. So within this case and these selected basic harmonics, we see the length of 61, which is appearing here to have an harmonic relation, at least with a factor of 1/3 here in that case, with an allowed error rate of 8% in this case. So if we add now this cycle here into the mix, even though it has a low Bartol score, but that's now allowed because we want the harmonic relations here. And please observe what with the top here happens at this point in time. So if I switch on the 61, you see that the top moves to the left. So we see a translation of the upcoming top. If we would have done this here at this point in time, or I can even phase out the out of sample period. If we would have done this here end of May, where the cycle top was projected for the first half of July, the harmonics shows us that the top will shift more to the left. So we should expect the top to come more early. And that's anyhow what we are looking for. So we are never looking for all the tops and bottoms here in a kind of static projection here. We are always interested in the next projected turning point from the cycle analysis. And in this case, even not a perfect fit, but if we would have switched on the harmonic related cycles, we would have been aware that the top will come more early than just looking at the dominant cycle here. So and we are at end of May, we have been close to this point in time. Even not perfect, but at least a clue that we would have a left translation of the cycle here. So, and now the other topic, which is always important, cross-correlate with silver. So at that point in time, we should also cross-check the silver price, which had a similar situation here. So first, let's go back to the mid-May period here to start our analysis. We also saw this dominant cycle here, which at this point in time here still projected a longer upcycle here with a length of 180 days here in the silver case. So and now doing the same optimization with also adding the harmonic related cycles into this mix here for the one with the length of 180 would bring us up with the cycle of 94 and maybe 61, just to add the harmonic related cycles here. And here you see now adding this is the 180 and this 61. Here we have it. Yeah, maybe not the full change here, but okay, in this case it would not have been a large left translation here. So let's add full data into the mix. So at least at this point in time here now, if we do the same procedure, going with the 180 now, and no, okay, so there's nothing to add here in that case. We just have a look here. No, there would be no relation here in this case here. So, but it shows August. No, it would not help us here. So we had mixed cycles for gold and silver. So they have not been very helpful during the period of May and June. So this is, and we are just doing cycle analysis here. So this is what also happens. It's not always as clean and working as, maybe shown from cycles. So let's switch to the crypto cycles. I'm doing this regularly now from week to week. I think there's no major update in this cycle here. I've talked a lot of times on the cycle with a length of 200 something days, which has now hooked on since 1 or 2 weeks. And I told you somewhere here that this is now a key point in time where we need to see confirmation for this cycle which quite happened afterwards. And it looks like we are now in this upswing here, and this is an important fifth upswing if you followed my previous analysis. And that's exactly the opposite what we see here compared to the gold cycle, which I showed you, or which we discussed in May, where we saw it has gone out of sync at this point in time, where we see here now in the Bitcoin cycle, where it looked like it has gone out of sync somewhere mid-July. So review my analysis on this 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I said now it's a point in time to prove if we hook on this cycle here or not, which we did. So I think, and we saw this cycle already in the past. So if we switch back the analysis here, also into this point in time here, so this cycle was there for quite a long time. And I think this is kind of similar to where I've started talking about this analysis here, this point in time, where it looks like in the bottoming phase here. And if Bitcoin would have now turned down from this point in time here, this would not have given us a confirmation. And I think this is what I told you 2 weeks ago. We need to look out for this cycle now to get into it. And this is what we had. I mean, some would say it's related to news. I would say it's related to cycles. News is just the external trigger, which is always needed to see a cycle unfold then also in the data. Otherwise, noise or other overlaying issues could wrap down a cycle. But that's something for a different story. So we need to check out how this cycle now plays out if we move into the period of even end of September. So this is what is projecting the upswing to last into. Okay, so that's on the crypto section. Let's switch to the main indices, the main global stock market here. And here we have a similar situation. I mean, anyhow, what we see here since over a year here is, and therefore any cycle analysis will not have any clue on this strong linear uptrend which you're seeing here. So there's no real cycle which could give us a clue, at least if we look at the data from the last year. So therefore, it's very hard to align a phase. So whatever cycle might be active in a longer term. So if we do an historical analysis, there are cycles which we can detect, and I will show you that in a second. But however, if you have this on a daily basis, this long-running linear uptrend, which, I mean, I would not go into the discussion about what causes these never-ending uptrend here, but at least any alignment of cycle phases has a hard job during these times, because there are no other cycles which could be hooked on to get a clue on the phase. So the phase means when is the next top or low of an important cycle to be expected here. So that's always what you should have in mind, knowing about the data set you have put into the analyzer. And therefore, in this case, if we just use this data, which is shown here on the chart, so this is the in-sample period. The in-sample period more or less just consists of this sideways and this strong uptrend here. So we must extend the time period we are using here for our analysis before moving to the spectrum or to the cycles card here. So in this case, we need more data on our chart. So at least that we, from the detrended version, we might see some more clues here. So I've now added more data to get some more information here, and we see two key cycles or two peaks in the spectrum, which give us maybe a clue on what we should look at. So the cycle with a length of 240 and the one with the 106. So I will now do the same procedure with the harmonics. So the 240. There we see the harmonic relation to 84 and 73. 84, 73. So we have now added the two important harmonic cycles related to the longer one. And the second important was the one with a length of 106. So let's see what is the harmonic relation to the 106. So it's 53, this one here, and 38. So this is more than the extended procedure I'm using here by using two key dominant cycles, so the 240 and 103, and then adding for each of these dynamic dominant cycles the harmonically related cycles to our composite plot here. So, and we can have a cross check with historical data first before we go into our future projection. It's just a cross validation how we selected these cycles here. And just to repeat, you know that we are just looking for points in time, yeah, when we expect maybe some turns to occur in the markets. The composite cycle projection is not there to do price projections. We're just looking at these points in time here when cycles turn. And so in this case, we just want to check. So here's the top to the low. So this is how it would look like if we just align the market with our, oops, sorry, a little bit too early, but here, expected turning points from this one here and this low here. So maybe then here, going sideways from this top here into this low. Sorry. So you see how it works, and I think this aligns. So from the historical point of view, we can even add more to the data here. It looks like at least until October, and this is always the important point, until October last year, doesn't matter which cycle you select, the cycles had a good fit with the past. Since October last year, we can observe that we see a non-alignment of dominant cycles with market behavior in global markets. I cannot talk about the root cause, and I have no clue about the root cause, but since October, the dominant cycles are out of sync with main global markets behavior. So that's what's always important when we look at the current situation and into the future based on the cycles. We need to know if a composite projection or a dominant cycle was in sync with market behavior in the past. And with the global market, it hasn't been in sync. So it's again the opposite, like the Bitcoin, the crypto is nicely in sync with the dominant cycle right now, as it was always before the parabolic moves. The global market, and we need to see when it gets back into sync with cycles again to see it here. However, the key turning points, if we want to have a look at this, are currently, right here. So we still see a negative situation here into September. So the August should be more negative situation from the cycles, and then September into end of the year, it's looking to move up or to show up then at least an upswing here. But this should be really taken with care, as the global cycles here have mostly been out of sync. But these are the dates or the key turning points to look at. So the September low point here, so we might see a sideways consolidation now into the P for the next 4 weeks, and then maybe an upswing into the end of the year. At least that's what the dominant cycles in the global markets tell us today. And finally, maybe a last look also on sentiment, which I always recommend to do cycle analysis, because cycles work very well on emotional driven data series. So therefore you can look out for different data series which might give a clue on the sentiment on the markets. So the Volatility Index is one, and I also like the Financial Stress Index, which is made public from the Federal Reserve of St. Louis. So this is free data which is available. It's weekly data, but we can pull this one up here. So this is a weekly data series on the financial stress index they measure with their data set. So therefore, if we apply our cycle analysis to this data set, we see a clear, and this is always nice, if we see this clear peak here in the spectrum with the length of 197 week cycle in that case. So, and if we put this on the chart here, the first thing to observe is that it was nicely able to pick at least the main tops and bottoms here from the past movement of this cycle here. And if we get now to the current situation, and the reading here is opposite as to major cycles here. So a top in the financial stress means that it's a lot of stress in the financial markets, which correlates to major lows in the markets, while cycle bottoms here, which indicate there is a low stress level in the financial markets, correlate to market tops in the global indices. So this should show us that, and that's similar to the daily analysis I did on the main markets here, so that a low in the financial stress index might be expected for end of this year. Yeah, that's the reading from this financial stress cycle here, which, by the way, nicely worked out for the last 15 years, or at least good 10 years. So this indicates a top now at the end of this year. So even though the August-September period might be sideways or short consolidation, and then even the daily cycle suggested an up move into from September into November, December. The stress index suggests anyhow that the market top, or at least from a sentiment perspective, might change end of the year. So maybe the rally might continue until end of the year. At least then the daily cycles from the market and the weekly cycles from the global financial stress index come into alignment. So that's an important time to watch out on the global markets, at least from the daily and weekly perspective. There is no short-term cycles here. The short-term cycles are related to intraday data sets, which I showed you last week how to do this. So that's it for today, just having a quick check on major market cycles. This is what you should do every day to update the current situation in the main markets, then drill into more detailed refinement with harmonics, with knowledge from past cycles, so that you get a clue which knowledge you should add in regards to have the cycles been in sync with the market, yes or no, in the current past. So this gives you a better feeling and indication if you can trust cycle analysis for your own personal analysis. And we always know cycles are not always the underlying main force of the market. So there's always the knowledge required if cycles are in sync with the market or not. So, and you know which points in time to look out into the future. That's the beauty of cycles. They give us a window into the future where important points in time should be monitored. Okay, so that's the main market analysis. The section 2 for today is now about a comment before I get to your Q&A section. So please feel free to drop in your questions and answers right now, as I will come back to this in a minute. But the second topic I want to give you an update on is the script for the intraday usage I talked about last week. So what's happening here? So why are you not able to access it? Okay, I don't have an answer, but I can show you where it is and I will help you on that. So first of all, you need to go to our forum section here, forum.cycles.org, and then you need to be logged in with your account. That's the second important topic. And you need to be approved for the private Cycles app forum. So the intraday features are related to our analyst license. So therefore, that's the precondition to be able to see it. But it might not show up automatically. And the forum I'm talking about here is the Cycles app inside forum. So this need to show up on the main board index in the FSC organization. If you don't see this forum, which seems to be the issue for some of you, you are not enabled yet for this forum, which needs to be done manually, or you need to request access once you are enabled, you're in. This is not happening automatically. So we need in the backend, our support team needs to enable you once to this section. In most cases, we try to ensure that this happens while you upgrade your license. But in some cases, it seems to be not happened automatically. So therefore, please drop a note via email to Mark McVeigh and Liz, our support team, or if you don't have the email, go into the cycles.org webpage, open a ticket there. You can always open a ticket on our cycles.org page, and then you should make a call to this. And they need to enable you. So don't send private emails to me, because that might not get into the queue to get solved, because I will not focus on individual support topics in my inbox. So therefore, please and the best way is open a ticket, because then Mark and Liz will not oversee it if you send them an email. So that's the first block, but I'm here to help you. So that's the normal process, yeah, just to be aware of where it should be. As I'm aware of that, and expect delays in tickets, because we are a non-profit. So therefore, Mark has also launched the magazine last week. So Mark was very, very much loaded with finalizing the magazine, which, by the way, is another outcome. And I hope you have enjoyed reading the latest magazine, but might just explain why last week there might be a delay in answers on that. So, but there is a second forum, which I think most of you have looked into, which is the FSC Cycles app forum here in this section, where I posted the answer already on your questions. And that's, I think, the irritation. So what I will do right after the show, so in 5 to 10 minutes, I will also place the script here in this forum, right? So because you have access to it now. So, and I don't want to get you into a support loop where you are waiting and waiting. So I see the point that there is a delay right now, and I need to excuse that we are ramping up all the different ways and new features. So we are pushing new features, and then we need to bring up the support afterwards. So to make a long story short, you will see the script here also in this forum, which you have access to anyhow, being analyst or not, doesn't matter. So even though if you are not enabled for the Inside forum, in 5 to 10 minutes from now, so you can trust me and count on me, but just give me 10 minutes so that once I've finished the session here, I will put the script in this forum here, that you are, at least in this case, quickly able to repeat what I told you last week for the intraday topic, okay? So the point to look out for the scripts to happen is go to the FSC forum site, and in the FSC Cycles app, in 5 to 10 minutes, there will show up the script. The official way, however, and this will not change, so please request access to the Cycles app inside forum as moving forward, and in the future, this will be the main place for these topics. Okay, so I hope this helps most of you with had issues in the past accessing this, and I need to excuse maybe that we also need to improve our processes here, but bear with us. I hope you see it, we are improving the features and the way how you can engage with the app. Almost every month you will see something new, so we need to give them a chance to hook up. Yeah. So this was the second key topic for today. We are now past half an hour. I think if you have any questions in addition to main cycles, please feel free to ask them. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed today's session again, got a little clue on main market cycles, and now you should be able to review the intraday cycle. So I will say thanks for joining me today, and see you again soon. Bye.